Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Peachy and this channel is all about my Sylvanian families collection. Today I wanted to do another video introducing some more of my villagers. We did the last one a little while ago now, introducing the characters I have from the town series. And if you remember, I was umming and ahhing about how best to show you the rest of my figures since I have acquired quite a few over the years I've been collecting. I'm not sure whether this video is going to be a one-parter or a two-parter yet. We'll see how time goes on as I go through the box. But today I wanted to introduce all of the villagers who have specific jobs, so like maybe they work in a shop or maybe they work at the school or the hospital. So they're basically the figures that have come either bundled in with a particular furniture set or building or accessory set. Basically the figures who didn't come in like the family unit sets. So let's get straight on in here because there's quite a few. Now I do realise this is not the best way to be storing them. You can damage the flocking by having them kind of piled in a box like this, but unfortunately I don't have a lot of space options at the moment, so I try to get them out and rotate them around every now and again to try and minimise the flocking damage, but until I've got a bit more space it kind of has to be this way, which isn't ideal, but hey ho. So I'm going to move this box and put it down here, and then we'll line everyone up here so they can all say hello. Now you'll have to forgive me because I don't think I'm going to be able to remember everyone's name, but we shall give it a good go. I'm also going to try and go in chronological order through Tommy, then Flair, then Epoch, and see how well that goes. So yes, let's get started. And I think we'll start with one of the first figures I remember getting as a child, and that is Dr. Murdoch. I can't remember his first name, but he's, I don't think they made a family for this colour of bear, but he's the same mould as like the timber tops and the evergreens, and he is the village doctor. He came with like a little first aid box and a stethoscope and some other bits which I think are in another box because they're not here with him. And then they also made a little bear mould of this doctor, and I think he might have come with the hospital set that was released by Flair, but this is the original Tommy Dr. Murdoch, who's looking a little bit grubby from lots of play when I was younger, but yes, here's Dr. Murdoch. Then alongside him, and in the little bear mould, this is May Blossom. May Blossom is the village florist. Again, she's Tommy era. This isn't from my childhood. I got her secondhand, but she's very cute. I love the little lace matching on her dress and her head, and she runs the original village florist shop. And you can see she's the little bear mould. I love the theme names like May Blossom because obviously she's a florist. I think that's really cute. Another of my original Tommy figures, this is Samuel Stamp, the postman. So he is a field mouse, got his little postman uniform and his little post bag to deliver letters. Again, he's quite worn from playing with him as a child. His clothes seem almost too big for him. I did have to do some repair jobby on his collar here because it was starting to fray. But yes, that's Samuel Stamp, and he came with the original village post office. I love the variety of sizes in the older figures as well, it's really sweet. Then we have Mr. Webster, and he is the village milkman. Again, this is Tommy era, again a little bit worn from play, but he is a brown duck. He's got his little satchel with him, and he came with the village milkman set, so he came in like a cart and some milk bottles and bits and bobs so he can deliver the milk. And he's even smaller than Samuel Stamp. Then we've got the policeman. This is PC Bobby Roberts. He was released in the Tommy era, but I'm pretty sure that this one might be the Flair re-release that they did. I know that Mr. Webster and Samuel Stamp are definitely the Tommy editions, but I think PC Roberts here is probably the Flair re-release just because he's looking in better condition. I love his little fluffy, I guess it almost looks like a moustache, but obviously it's his badger markings, and his hat has little cut-out room for his ears. Very sweet in the kind of old 50s style policeman uniform. And then again, originally released in the Tomy era, but I think this is probably the Flair reproduction rather than the original Tomy figure. This is Captain Horatio Sea Dog. So he comes with a little rowing boat. Oh, I should say, BC Roberts came with a police box or a bike. There were two different sets, so you can get him with his bicycle or with his police box, and I have the one with the police box. But yes, back to Captain Sea Dog. He's obviously a dog. He's a sea captain, and he came with a little rowing boat and some treasure that he's found on his adventures. And he's got this same really cute kind of beady, moustachey detail that makes him look a bit older. And I think he might be missing a button, which is probably in this box somewhere, so I'll have to find that and reattach it. Yes, that's Mr. Sea Dog, sorry, Captain Sea Dog. And alongside Captain Sea Dog, they released a set of 3 figures called the Motley Crew, and they came with brushes or brooms and mops and buckets for cleaning the boat. They also came with little sailor hats. I do have those hats. I think they're in one of the boxes where their accessories are, so I haven't got the hats on them because they have, like you can see it there, they are attached with elastic, and I didn't want to leave it on them because it was going to damage the flocking. You can see these are very worn and very well played with. These are probably some of my oldest figures. These are definitely the Tomy editions, but you've got, or I can't remember their names, but you've got a Waters Beaver, Brown Mouse whose family name I can't even remember, and Little Duck with this cute little sailor themed kind of bandana on. And I can't remember his name or the family name either, but they're very sweet. I remember playing with these ones a lot, which is why they're looking a little bit worse for wear. Put those over there with Captain Sea Dog. And I think that's all my Tomy era figures for this category. So with that, we'll move on to the Flair ones. So for the Flair era, let's start with a couple that you've already seen before, so we'll just go past them very quickly. But this is Finley and Francesca Osborne. So Finley came with a fish and chips van, and Francesca came with an add-on set called the fish fryer set. I've got a whole video about the fish and chips van up on my channel, so if you want to know a little bit more about these two, then go and check that out. But yes, they're very cute with their matching striped uniforms. So that's Finley and Francesca Osborne. Then sticking on the bear theme, this is Mr. Bearberry. I want to say his first name's Nigel, but I might have pulled that completely out of nowhere. Maybe he just looks a little bit like a Nigel to me. But he is the music teacher, and he came with the school music lesson set. I didn't get him with that set because I have the Japanese version of that set, which interestingly doesn't come with the figure, it just comes with all the musical accessories. So I picked him up second hand off eBay because I wanted him. I really love the Bearberry bears. I love the teardrop markings on their muzzles, and I love the little pink ears and pink nose. He also looks very, very smart, and I did need a teacher for my school. That's Mr. Bearberry. I have 2 more Bearberry bears, and these are some of my favourites that Flair put out. I think these are so cute. So this is the bus driver and the bus conductor. So they're Bearberry bears, and I think they are called Stan and Olive, which I'm pretty sure is a reference to an old British sitcom called On the Buses. where there was a character called Stan and a character called Olive, I think that's what that's a reference to. But you can see I've obviously kept, they came with a few accessories that they would hold, so you can see I've left them on them. So Stan here has his little bag, and in there's a little lunchbox and a little flask, I think. Yeah, so in there is his lunchbox with his sandwiches. And then Olive is the conductor, and she has the little really old-fashioned ticket machine that you can actually move the little handle around to process the tickets, and then it gives out these paper tickets for the number 17. They came out in the colour scheme for the re-released Woodland Bus, which was kind of a cream and a brown, but I have the old Tomy edition, which is the red one. I still think they match quite well with it, but I can't remember if the number is 17 or not, so that's something to check when I get that out again. Then another face you'll have seen before if you watched my videos unboxing the Osborne / Petite Bear family. This is Pete Petite. He's also a postman. He's got a little kind of faux leather post bag, and his uniform is quite similar colours to Samuel Stamp, but obviously updated a little bit. Pete came with a little set with a post box and his post bike and some accessories that he'd use at the post office. I think there was also a version, because they re-released the Tomy edition post office in the Flare era, so there might have been an edition of that where he came in bundled with that, but I've got the set where with his bike and the post box and such. He works in the post office alongside Samuel Stamp. Then this one's a really interesting one. So this is John Sainsbury's, and he came with a little grocery shop set, but it was branded to Sainsbury's, the supermarket, and I think this set was only available to buy in Sainsbury's. So in the UK we have a supermarket chain called Sainsbury's, and the founder of that was a man called John Sainsbury's, who this bear is named after. And he's got the Sainsbury's orange apron. And yeah, it was basically, it looked a little bit like the old shop sets where it's got like the open front, and it had lots of kind of almost 50s style packaging on the items on the grocery items for sale. I'm not sure whether it was for an anniversary or something, but it was a strange tie-in. But my friend's dad worked at Sainsbury's at the time, so he picked one up for me because he just thought it was such an interesting collaboration. So yes, this is John Sainsbury's. And then I have these two polar bears. These are the ice cream sellers, and I think their surname is Polaris, but I'm not sure of their first names, which is really bad. I just can't remember everyone's names, but again, I absolutely love their little matching striped outfits. So they were marketed to be used with the ice cream van, which is a similar mould to the fish and chip shop van, but obviously it's serving ice cream rather than fish and chips. And they came in a little set with some more ice creams that you could use with that van. And they also have these really cute little cardboard hats, but obviously they would just fall off all the time, so I've stored them separately with the ice cream van. But yes, these two are very cute. I think that might be all the... oh no, one more bear. So this is Horace Honey Bear, which is a great name. I love the name Horace. And he is, if we lift up his little veil so you can see his face, he is the beekeeper. So he came with the beekeeper set, which had basically, it had like a little hive and some other accessories that you'd use with beekeeping. He's very sweet, and I really love that set. It's just a very like quintessentially villagey thing to have. So yes, this is Horace Honey Bear. Now I think we've got all the bears out. So this is Cecil Maces. He's a Maces mouse, and he is the wedding photographer. So he came in a little set with obviously his camera and some other kind of photography accessories, and he was part of the wedding range. I absolutely love his little moss green waistcoat. I think he's very sweet, and he really reminds me of one of my friends who is also a photographer, and he carries around pretty much the exact same messenger bag at all times with all his camera accessories in it. So this is, yes, Cecil Mace's. Then we have Elsie and Dolly. Elsie came with the ice cream bike and Dolly came with the popcorn bike, and these sets they're essentially a bicycle with like a kind of a compartment on the front which stored their respective snacks, and then it had a little umbrella, and I think they were marketed with the kind of beach themed things. But they're very cute sets. I really like the bikes because they add a lot of depth to scenes, because you can kind of have them out in front of other buildings, which I really like. So I like to think that they work in business together, and that the ice cream bike and the popcorn bike are kind of their joint venture, so they're like business partners. So yes, that's Elsie and Dolly. And this is another Buttercup cow, and I know she's an auntie of the Buttercup family, but I cannot remember her first name and I feel really bad. But she has the prettiest dress. It's this beautiful pink with all these lovely florals. And she came with the farm shop. So the farm shop is kind of like a little stand, and there's lots of like fruit and veg for sale. And she came with that set. As you can see, my collection is predominantly Flare era. That's when I was doing most of my collecting. So then we have, this is Belinda Bright Eyes, which I just think is such a lovely name, Belinda Bright Eyes. She's got a little bent ear, which differentiates her from the Babelbrooks, but otherwise they look pretty similar, and the elastic's gone a bit, so I need to fix the elastic on this little headband, but she is quite old now. I love her I love this apron. It's just so delicate and so, I don't know, I really love it, and the little pink check dress as well. She works at I think it was the Blackcurrant Cafe. Don't actually have that set, but she was sold separately as like the cafe waitress, and she came with some cakes and cake stands and teas. And for me, she works in the bakery cafe, the old one that has the stairs and like the seating. She runs that in my village. Yes, Belinda Bright Eyes. Starting to fill out the ranks here now. I think we're probably about halfway there, I'd say. Maybe just over halfway there. Then I've got Blackcurrant Rabbit Mother, and again maybe Ingrid, I'm not sure. I feel really bad when I can't remember their first names. Obviously her apron has never been taken off because that is like the perfect out the box bow. I love that it's got a yellow band on it as well. And Mrs. Blackberry came with the juice bar set, and I've got the Flare edition, but I think it was re-released. I think it's still available now, to be honest, via Epoch. But yeah, I really like these rabbits. I love the tips on the ears and the little patch on the eye. I think it's very, very cute. I also have, maybe this is Ingrid. I'm not sure, but this is the Blackberry Rabbit daughter, and she came with this very cute little rowboat set. It's got, I think it might be Ingrid's Day Out or something like that, and she's got this cute little boat, a little parasol, and some other little bits and accessories like this really cute little camera. So that's where she came from. I think they released the whole Blackcurrant family. Sorry, I think they released the whole Blackberry family. I think, but I only have mother and daughter in my collection at the moment. Then I have Bert and Joyce Harvey. So these are Harvey Grey cats, and these are the village shop owners. These ones are fairly new because they still have them in stock at Sylvanian storekeepers. I don't know if they will do now, but this was a few months ago that I added these to my collection. They came with a few cute little accessories that go with the village store. Not the original Tomy village store, but the one released by Flair, which looks a little bit more like a supermarket. It's got a big glass window in the front. And that's the set that they were marketed to go with. They came with like a little shopping basket, a little pricing gun, and some other 3D bits to go on the shelves. I think they're really sweet. I love the grey cat markings, and I love the matching uniforms, and his red apron is very sweet. So yes, this is Bert and Joyce. Oh, you can't see Bert. Let's move them in a bit. There we go. Then we have Mrs. I think it's Butterglove. Again, I'm not quite sure of her first name. But she came in the set with the village gift shop, which was basically like a little stand, and it has like pencils and stationery and other bits and bobs like that. I think there is a Butterglove family, which I think she must be an auntie of. Again, I really love her dress. It's really pretty florals, and she's got the little bent ear again. It's Mrs. Butterglove. And then I have Nurse Nightingale. I think it's Emily Nightingale, obviously named after Florence Nightingale. And she came with a little set with a little accessory set. It was the nurses set that preceded the current nurses sets, and it got fairly similar accessories. It had like a wheelchair, and then some bandages and other medical bits and bobs to complement the cottage hospital. So she obviously works with Dr. Murdoch. Then I have Mr. Mulberry. He is from the Toy Maker set, so he works in the toy shop and he makes all the toys for the toy shop. The Toy Maker set, I've got a video about that on my channel as well if you want to see it in a bit more detail. Essentially it's a desk, and then he's got some tools and kind of paints and things where he can make his toys. I just love all the different coloured aprons. I'm glad that they just didn't give them all the same colour apron, because like all the female characters seem to get given white aprons, but all the male characters get given fun different colour aprons, which seems a bit unfair, but there we go. So that's Mr. Mulberry. Then I have Antonio Patches. Antonio is a hairstylist and he works at the beauty salon. I think he came bundled in with the UK edition of the beauty salon. He's got these are little pockets for him to be able to put like his scissors and comb in. But I really love his beauty stylist outfit, and I like that they made him a male hairdresser. And then here I have two imposters. So this comes from a supplementary set to the beauty salon, and it was called the beautician set, and it basically came with the outfit, which again has little pockets for putting scissors and comb and such in, and some other kind of hair cutting accessories and some bits for dyeing and all sorts of hair accessories that you could imagine having in a hairdresser's. The villager here who's wearing it is actually a double I had of Grace from the Grace and Kelly ballroom dancing set, and we'll get to Kelly in a minute. But yeah, she's from the ballroom dancing set, but I did have two Graces because I also got the set where Grace is wearing a different outfit, the Epoch version where she's a singer. So yes, my double of Grace now works at the beauty salon. And then I also have another Butterglove rabbit, so this is Mrs. Butterglove. This is her original dress. So she was actually came bundled in with one of the nursery sets. I think it's the Primrose Nursery, I'm not quite sure. But she was a teacher at Primrose Nursery, but I had another beautician outfit, so, and I thought it matched her bow really nicely, and since we have Mr. Bearbury to be a teacher, I thought that she might have a career change, or maybe she works two jobs and she works at the nursery part-time and then at the beauty salon part-time. maybe. But at the moment she is working at the beauty salon. Then, since we've already mentioned him, here is Kelly. He is a ballroom dancer and piano player, and he works at the Grand Hotel, or the Grand Regency Hotel. And he came in a pack, well, he came in a 2-pack with Grace here. So Grace and Kelly actually came in 2 sets. So like I mentioned, there's the Grace and Kelly here with the open hands, and they came in the ballroom dancing set, which basically came with a lovely old gramophone, which is why I got it actually. Why I ended up getting both sets, because I really wanted that gramophone. And then also this kind of thing that you could push them along on, which made them twirl and dance around. And there's also another Grace and Kelly set, which I have, which I'll get to in the Epoch section. Yes, this is Kelly. I'm going to move that there so you can see everyone. Since we're talking about people who work in the Grand Hotel, here are Basil and Suzette. So Basil is a brown mouse, and Suzette is, I think, a Chantilly cat? Or she's the same mould as a Chantilly cat. I'm not sure that that's actually her surname, because I think they're cream. Basil is the chef at the Regency Hotel, and Suzette is the waitress at the restaurant in the Regency Hotel, and both of these came bundled in with the Regency Hotel. They're actually a re-release from the Tomie era, so Basil and Suzette had been released before as the chef and waitress, but I think they were for the Harvester restaurant rather than a hotel. But yes, these two are the re-release that came with the Regency Hotel, and that's the red version of the hotel. Then I also have Mrs. Bassett. Mrs. Bassett is Kelly's wife, and she came with the housekeeping set, so that was another supplementary set marketed with the Regency Hotel, and it essentially came with all sorts of cleaning supplies. She's basically housekeeper, and the best accessory in that set, in my opinion, is the little hoover. There's a little hoover that she comes with that she can push around, and I just think it's so cute. This is Mrs. Bassett. I love her dress as well. The blue stripes are really pretty. Yeah, she works at the Regency Hotel. Oops. Then finally from the Regency Hotel we have Mr. Cheshire, and he is the butler at the Regency Hotel, and he was again sold in a supplementary set, and it had some kind of butler accessories like glasses and tea and coffee and things like that. That's Mr. Cheshire. I actually have a duplicate of him because I ended up with, I don't know how, but I ended up with 2 butler sets. I think that was probably, someone bought me one as a gift, and I'd also already bought one for myself, so I think that's how that happened. So he'll probably end up taking on another job role at some point. And then here we have Mrs. Patches. Mrs. Patches is the school dinner lady, and I think she came in a set with Mr. Renard, and Mr. Renard is a fox, and he is a lollipop man. And I think these were sold as a supplementary set to the Berry Grove school that Flair put out, but obviously they work with any of the schools. But they did kind of a whole range of school accessories and job sets that went with that Berry Grove school. I do have Mr. Reynard. He's clearly not in this box. I thought he was, but he must be with the rest of the Renard family in one of the other boxes. So yes, he's not here to join us today, but he is a lollipop man, so we'll meet him later on in another video. Then we have Mrs. Maces. She is Cecil's wife, I believe, and she is the school nurse. I don't know where her little hat has gone. She has like a little nurse's hat that's quite similar to Emily Nightingale's, Not sure where that is. It must be in the box with the hospital set. But yes, this is Mrs. Mace's, the school nurse. And again, she came with a little like a bed and some other, I think some scales and some other things that you'd find like in a school infirmary. But I don't have that set, I just have the figure because I thought she was really sweet and I really liked her dress, so I picked her up secondhand on eBay. So she could either work at the school or at the hospital. I'm not quite sure yet because she's quite new to my collection, but she's very sweet. And then I have Christopher Appleblossom. He works at the Watermill Bakery and he came bundled in with the Watermill Bakery. He's grey squirrel, he's got a very large fluffy tail. Yes, he is a baker at the Watermill Bakery. He's going to block everyone out with his huge tail now. I'm sorry Kelly. This is Mrs. Appleblossom and her daughter and their daughter. I can't remember their first names, but these two came in the ballet lesson set, so they came with like a piano and then some other ballet bits and bobs, I think maybe a bar and some ballet shoes. I don't actually have that set, I just have the two figures because I didn't want Mr. Appleblossom to be lonely, so I decided to get his wife and daughter. They work alongside him in the bakery now, and that's everyone from the Flair era. So we'll move on to the Epoch era. So firstly I have Mrs. Petite or Osborne, and she came with the, I think it's called the Delightful Donut Store, which is the little stand that has all the different kinds of donuts, and she makes them and sells them. I love the little checkered kind of neckerchief that she has on, I think that's really cute. So this is Mrs. Osborne or Petite. Then we have Grace. This is Flat-Handed Grace from the Epoch era, and she is in the singing outfit. It's got another Kelly somewhere, but he's obviously not in this box, but he's a flat-handed version of Kelly, and he is in the set that this Grace is from. He's a piano player and she's a singer. But then I also have another outfit for Grace, which is from the ballroom dancing set. Kelly wears the same outfit in both. This is Grace's other outfit for when she's doing ballroom dancing. So I've got her now. So 3 more to go, I promise we're nearly there. So I have Mrs. Cakebread. So Mrs. Cakebread comes bundled in with the Village Cake Shop. It's one of my favourite buildings that Epoch has put out. I think it's really pretty. I love the colours and how it looks and all the different cake accessories you get in it. I think it's a really good set. So this is Mrs. Cakebread, and then we also have her daughter, and again I'm afraid I can't remember the first names, but I love how her daughter is in a matching uniform, so clearly this is the uniform for the cake shop, and I think it's really pretty. She came in a supplementary set to that Village Cake Shop called the Cake Decorating Set, and it came with some more cake accessories and some more cake making accessories. So I wanted to get that because I just thought it was too cute that they had matching dresses to work in the shop. I just thought it was so cute. So yes, that's Mrs. Cakebread and her daughter. And then finally, and one of my newest additions, Mrs. Dale, or Miss Dale, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of her first name, but she came with the popcorn, the new version of the popcorn bike. So obviously we've got Dolly here from the Candy Floss bike, and we now have a new Dale sheep from the popcorn bike. I love her dress, I love her apron, I like that she's got a, I like that both her and Miss Cakebread actually have colourful aprons. That makes me very happy for my small complaint earlier that all the female characters have the same colour apron, so I'm glad we're branching out into different apron colours. And I love the blue and the red. So yes, that's all my figures who have some kind of specific occupation in my village. This is probably quite a long video, so if you've made it all the way through, thank you for sticking with me. I've really enjoyed introducing everyone to you, and there'll be more videos in the future to go through my actual family unit sets. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know which job you would like to have if you had to pick one of the jobs in Sylvania, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now!